Good evening and welcome to the show On the Spot. My name is Patrick Kamara. Tonight we're going to focus on the Lubowa focused hospital that has turned into a phantom project. Many say more than $300 million has so far been sunk into that hospital that should have been completed in 2021. It appears now the hospital has not even gone out of the ground. Some people have even joked that maybe the hospital is built underground. Members of Parliament have tried to access the Lubowa Hospital, have not been given access. The Auditor General also has issued a report showing that there has been a hemorrhage of public resources into that hospital that has not happened. So what is going on with the Lubowa Hospital? Tonight, my guests are two. I have a Member of Parliament from Ntungamo Municipality, the Honorable Yona Musinguzi. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, Kamara. Thank you for inviting me here. And thank you, the viewers.
I have the Shadow Minister for Health and the Ginger City West Member of Parliament, Dr. Timothy Batua. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure being here with you, Kamara. Good evening, viewers.
Let me begin with you, Dr. Batua, yes. Because you are a Shadow Minister for Health, you are a medical doctor, and you have also attempted to go to Lubowa. What is your own assessment about what is going on? Because it appears that hospital is hemorrhaging public resources like no any other thing I know. What's going on?
Yeah, nothing is clear regarding the story of Lubowa. Everything is hidden. You have to work hard to discover a little truth about Lubowa. Even when you get a little truth about Lubowa, you will see information similar to that, but not the same as that. As of now, it's not even clear how much money has been given to Lubowa so far. It's not clear how much work has been done because they've denied everybody entrance. I've had two opportunities of visiting the site, one with the Committee of Finance and the other with the Committee of Health. But on those occasions, we never got to see the real person behind the project. We only interacted with people who were organized to meet us. There were some interesting people who were actually working on the site as foremen, doing some construction work with their working gear, helmets, the boots and all that, giving us an impression like they've been working there for some time. So we started asking very casual questions and, simple questions as in, for how long have you been here and all that. But as we kept on interacting, we discovered that actually they also hired that very day to come and make presence, make the place look busy, such that we know that there is work going on. But they were moving up and down, carrying wheelbarrows, others trying to bend the protruding metals and all that. Yeah, so it was funny, but of course these are Ugandans. At the end of the day, they know what you're trying to do there as MPs. So they broke the story, they broke it loose and told us, we don't know so what is going on here. We've just been told to come and hang around for today because there are visitors coming, some big people are coming. So the story of Lubowa is so funny. And of course, my very last visit recently with the leader of opposition, so many things were very surprising. I wonder how an OC of a police station, a DPC of a police station, even an RPC, can leave his desk and rush to the site to rescue a situation as though it had been attacked by unexpected people or criminals or something. There wasn't anything warranting police interference or police coming to intervene. So it surprised me, to what length the people behind Lubowa are going on to protect and what exactly they are protecting. So Lubowa is really a very interesting story.
Honorable Yona Musinguzi, I want to believe, excuse me, what Dr. Timothy is saying, that that people were just brought in that day to pretend that their workers have been going on. Some people moving wheelbarrows from nowhere to nowhere. This is like real gangster mafias, playing with public resources. These are members of Parliament. Their cardinal role is to do oversight. What do you make of that? You're a member of Parliament, but also an NRM member.
My brother, Lubowa is a laughable project. Actually, I pity my brothers, these ones who are trying to access Lubowa. I want to assure you, even the Minister of Health, as we speak today, may have never accessed that Lubowa we are talking about. If Lubowa is there, maybe if it is built underground like they're saying. At that time, I saw the leader of opposition being chased like a chicken thief at a project where government has spent huge sums of money. Even before, I saw committees being chased not access Lubowa. What is there that we are hiding? This is a government money that has been spent at Lubowa, and these are people who are tasked by the taxpayer to give value for money, to do their supervision role as leaders, as members of parliament. However, we want to know the people behind Lubowa. They have big names. Today you find them in coffee. They want to take coffee alone. Madame Enrique, the whole coffee of Uganda. Today you find her in Lubowa, no wonder. But however, the inframers of Lubowa project, our president had a very pertinent reason why we had to do that. There is a lot of capital repatriation of Ugandans running to India every day, running to here, Nairobi, Aga Khan, every day to access services that we don't have in Uganda. So the president, in his wisdom, having attracted investors to bring for us the specialized clinics for, he's a doctor here, for organ transplant, these prevalent cancers that are killing people. In Ntunga, we bury 5 people every month of cancer. To bring knowledge transfer and whatever was a very pregnant idea. But as always, he's always let down by his people.
So let me ask, you have a privilege of sitting in the NRM caucuses. You have a privilege because if NRM Uganda was a kingdom, you'd be a prince because you are an NRM diehard, I suppose. Do you sometimes, in your meeting, look at this hemorrhage of public resources in the name of building a super specialized hospital that has never been?
You know, an engineer can be an engineer, or you can all go to schools of engineering. But the art of building a good structure is not taught from the school. It has to be an art. Being a leader, in the party, does not deter me from seeing what is not going on. No,
what I'm talking about, has there been any party internal discussion about the hemorrhage of our resources in the name of building a super specialized hospital that we don't even see? It was supposed to have been commissioned maybe in 2021. The structure should have been finished. We're in 2024, we don't see it, and I'm wondering, do members of NRM, which NRM is in power today, running the affairs of Uganda, do you sometimes talk about these things, or you don't?
You can try to squeeze me to the corner.
I am not
I'm not
you.
a spokesperson of NRM. You'll call the spokesperson to come and talk. But what is wrong is always wrong. You can't hide what is wrong. You can't make what is wrong right. The president, the members of NRM, the members of opposition, if this Lubowa was built today, it wouldn't select that this is NRM go to Lubowa.
No, I'm not trying to squeeze you, Honorable Yona, because this is not the thing. I'm only saying, and there are no voices in this NRM juggernaut that can actually think about the money that we don't have and we are losing, or this subject is never talked about.
No, the first voice you are with him here. And I want to assure you, in 2015, I got a chance. We traveled to France with the president to attract Aga Khan, because Aga Khan had done wonders in Nairobi at Aga Khan University Hospital. To attract him, the president was convincing him to come to Uganda and bring for us such a hospital, a specialized hospital like we are talking of Lubowa today. I was even tasked with the engineers of Aga Khan and the surveyors when they came to Uganda. The president convinced them and they allowed to come and give us such a structure. because Uganda everyone has been running abroad, those who can access the services. So I want to thank the president for that vision. When those engineers came, they were attracted to Bwebaja, that Bwebaja Hill government to give them land, and for them they bring money and build for us such a specialized hospital. But I remember then, when they went back to France, they informed us that the cost of putting down those structures and the terrain of the hill we had given them is more costly than buying land in a good place in Kampala and build that so-called specialized hospital. Later, we got to hear about Rocco, Penetti, PPP with government to bring for us a Lua Hospital. I was like, oh my God, the dream, the vision of our leader, the dream of every Ugandan to have such a hospital, a specialized hospital has come true. Literally, did we know that the premise of the 2 years, which has now become 8, is it 8 or 7, to have completed the specialized hospital have not come true? We got to hear billions are exchanged. He says the Auditor General talks of 300 and what?
About 309.
309. Yesterday in Parliament, my brother, Honorable Musas, Minister of Finance, was telling us of 376 as the cost. It was revised. I hear when they revised the cost went up and the scope of work went down. Instead of vice versa, instead of revising the cost down, since you have revised the scope of work down, but for them theirs was the other way around.
They reduced the beds.
So now let me ask. You have another role of appropriation.
Yes.
You're members of parliament. Why do you continue to appropriate funds to a phantom project?
Actually, we are not appropriating funds to Lubowa. What is happening is that whoever initiated this was very intelligent at whatever he was doing or she was doing, and Uganda is now in a corner that we can't leave.
Which one is that?
Lubowa, the idea of Lubowa was sold to Uganda as a country by somebody who had no money. And the promise was very simple, that a hospital will be constructed, it will be equipped, human resource recruited, it will be operated, and after some time of operation, it will be referred back to Ugandans.
We are showing these images on TV as we speak. I think these are members of parliament here now, and before that trying to access Lubowa. Okay.
Yeah. So the purpose of Uganda, or the part Uganda played in this, let me call it a deal, was actually to guarantee the loan, because this person didn't have money. This person wanted to go to the bank to get money and put up Lubowa. So Uganda's work was to guarantee through promissory notes that for whatever money this person will get, the money was known, that for that amount of money that this person is going to get, we shall pay, but we shall also pay in a phased manner. So promissory notes were made, and what is happening today is that those promissory notes are maturing, and as they mature, we redeem. You get it? But the money was eaten. So all we are doing is to honor the obligation we made. The other person withdrew the money and ate the money. So we can't stop
Dr.
honoring our obligation.
You're making a very explosive statement that the money was eaten. How do you substantiate on that?
No, it's not the real word of eating as in eating, but it is a word to make one appreciate that money has been withdrawn and taken, but there isn't commensurate work on the site. You get it? Eh? That is what the statement is seeking to express, that money has been withdrawn from the bank. However, there isn't commensurate work that to that kind of money that has been withdrawn, number one. Number two, that we Ugandans are going on to pay for that money as we had promised through the promissory notes. And we've redeemed, as per the Auditor General's report, we've redeemed up to $156 million. However, I have information that in December, either December or no, it was December. In December, we paid another $26 million. So that brings it to $178 million so far paid. So we have to continue to pay because we have that obligation of paying that money. So what we need to maybe discuss is the way forward. How do we deal? How do we handle the situation the way it is?
Okay, Honorable Yona Musenguzi, the Auditor General every year will come out with a report. In fact, the accountability committees of Parliament are in the hands of members of the opposition. But they take a lot of time. These are experts. These are people who are qualified to look into the books of account of government entities. And they say there's a gap in here. So you as members of Parliament, what should we expect from you on the issue of Lubowa?
First of all, before we reach that far, the Auditor General says 156 million US dollars plus the 20 million US dollars, that is 176 million US dollars of the taxpayers' money has been paid to this consortium. Now, I remember some time back, there is this commissioner, I would not want to mention names here, in the Ministry of Health, but with intelligence I can mention names, because he was before a committee of Parliament, George Otima, engineer. We asked him, if you have gone ahead, you are paying this consortium. I remember every contract, there is a contracts manager who is supposed to certify a certificate of a completion. Maybe you have built foundation, then they have certified your completion certificate. We tasked George Otima, the engineer in the Ministry of Health. The man was very frank. He told us he's the only engineer in the ministry and the only commissioner in charge of engineering. And he's like, I cannot supervise daily work of this construction going on. I'm a commissioner, I have other things to do. So we asked him, who is supervising who? They even went ahead and told us that there is no money for supervision. Meaning, whatever work they are saying was done, there was no supervision. Whoever was approving the money, actually I think it was an oversight by the Auditor General, they should have told us that there was no certificate issued to these people to make government ascertain the amount of work that has been completed. So in such a circumstance, an investor has come from wherever she has come from. She has come to Uganda with only one thing, her brain, her phone, and her bag. You have given her land, you have given her money, she has brought nothing. But she is taking already $156 million in Itungamu. I want to tell you, we have a running facility of a health center with a theater that has got no equipment. And one individual has taken 156, not million Uganda shillings, but million USD dollars. I want to ask, if I may ask, from
600 billion.
That is 600 billion that has gone to someone who came empty-handed with on her head the idea. We gave her land, we gave her everything, we gave her money, and she has given us nothing after promising us to deliver the facility in 2 years.
So there was an attempt, was it yesterday, to get to Lubowa? Were you on the team?
No, I was not on the team. It's the Deputy Speaker who was requested to go to Lubowa, but today in his remarks, he said he has not yet gone there. and I believe he will be communicating.
There was a time when the leader of opposition was in Lubowa.
Yeah, that I did with the leader of opposition. So
what was the situation like? Because this time around you are not given an entry at all, right?
Yeah, no, we were not given an entry. The leader of opposition wrote to the sectoral ministry, and that is the Ministry of Health, the one that is overseeing this government project. And he expressed interest that being the leader of opposition and his office mandated with oversight duties.
And this is a public project.
Government on check, yeah. So he wanted to go there and ascertain how much work has been done and to what extent that work is commensurate to the amount of money government has disbursed so far. So, and he also interested the minister to come along with us such that we ascertain all these facts together. The minister replied, wishing us well in this tour, and expressed apologies for not attending the day of cabinet on that very day.
But you also know that the same minister at one point was bounced by the same security guards at Lubowa.
Exactly. Yeah. But we wanted to get there and see. So we now get ourselves there at Lubowa, and then we find the gate closed. We knock. Somebody in police uniform, khaki police uniform, opens a small slot, and then we express ourselves that we are from Parliament, and then our leader says she is the leader of opposition and is here for that kind of business. So the other person looks confused and calls another one who seems to be senior. They discuss with us, and then they tell us we don't have any instructions to let anybody in. And actually, they said there's a way they expressed it. I think it was our lady or our madam or madam CEO. There's something. There's a certain sentence they use
to indicate that
there is a female
boss
who is a boss to them, and they're under some serious instructions. They should not let in anybody just like that. So they made phone calls. So we were expecting the female boss to come, or handlers of the female boss to come and counter us or talk to us. Who do we see? We see some OC. As we speak, we see a DPC. As we continue speaking, we are seeing RPC. Then we see people coming in military fatigue, driving these Land Cruisers, pickups with military number plates. I didn't even bother to cram the number plates. But I mean, these are people we're not expecting. We're expecting handlers of the boss lady, to come and counter us. So we see these people, and these people stand there meaning whatever they wanted to mean. They were not falling back. They looked a bit serious, and they engaged us. So they were demanding to know why we are there.
Honorable, by the way, before you went there, you should have asked me. Because me, I stay near Lubowa. This is not robotic science. We don't need a lot to first enter and see what is taking place. I remember one day when they were doing some work, they were doing some work at first. We had hope at first, because me, I stay around there. So as they started slowing down on their work, they had a spike of a car. In my local language, we call it orpanka. What is it called in your language? That spike. Every morning you would hear a gong, poo, 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 poo. You think they are knocking on the what? On the steel bars.
They are doing construction work.
And at the bottom of
Operation Kigumas.
Yes, at the bottom of your at the end of the day, you would think they are doing work, because they would do it morning, lunchtime, and the evening. Poo, 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 poo.
Are you for sure that they're just making an empty sound?
Of course, we are neighbors. So
sounding gong.
Exposing yourself fighting with those people that you want to enter, you should have asked me. You can even stand on the other hill and you peep. There is nothing on the ground.
Gentlemen, hold on to your points, because we're going to take a break, and on the spot, we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching On the Spot. My name is Patrick Kamara. My guests tonight are Honorable Yona Musinguzi, Member of Parliament for Ntungamo Municipality, and Honorable Dr. Timothy Batura, Member of Parliament for Jinja City West and the Shadow Minister of Health. And we're discussing the super specialized hospital of Lubowa that has failed to come out of the ground. Maybe 5 or 7 years after the initial plan was commissioned. So now, you know, you have a cardinal role as members of parliament. You are the leaders. You are the other third arm of government. We, the people of Uganda, who have given you a mandate in Jinja, the mandate in the municipality, we hope for better. We know you can do better. So really, are we saying this parliament, where you sit, is a toothless parliament that can see more than $300 million go to the drain, and perhaps you'll keep adding? Then what's your role as MPs?
Yeah, you know, what's your role?
What's your role?
Exactly. What we are talking about is what we are talking about. Why do you think it is out of proportion? If we were this sitting parliament that is rubber stamping whatever is happening by the executive, I mean,
because
we would be seated and would not be talking
in your powers
of
of appropriation, you can say, unless we get to know what is going on here, we're not releasing money for ABCD.
But we have
you can make the central government move.
We've done that, but
we
if
have
you look at
rejected
it,
their budgets. That's why we are here.
If you look at it in depth, we are not giving money to the contractor in Lubowa.
You are giving a
We are
prisoner
simply
note.
honoring our obligations, the promissory notes that we have to redeem. In other words, whoever is behind Lubowa,
you guaranteed the contractor.
yes, whoever is behind Lubowa got the money from the bank and went with the money, or is keeping the money, whichever word is suitable. You get it, eh? Now, what Uganda is doing is that these promissory notes have matured, and we are redeeming them as and when they mature.
But doctor, you know, promissory note is liquid cash. When I bank it, I get the money.
Yes, so we have to honor. So if they bank another one that has matured, Uganda as a country has to honor. With the bank, you have to clear, you get it. So now it is the arrangement that Uganda should never repeat again. The arrangement of somebody coming without money and convincing us that he will do or she will do a project, and then we go on to get into an agreement with that person. Later on, even guarantee the loan that person is going to get. The kind of projects we've been running as a country are projects where we get the loan ourselves as a country, and then we look for the contractor. Even while looking for the contractor, we follow the PPDA guidelines. They are well stipulated. A competitive process ensures, and a number of contractors come and participate. The best contractor is identified. That's what we've been doing. That's what we know. So today we have now to interrogate the people behind this other new approach of doing things, of saying that we have somebody here, somebody without money, but with an idea. This, first and foremost, this person needs money. You get it. So you need to guarantee this person to get a loan. This person will put up a hospital, furnish it, equip it very well, recruit staff, run it so that it becomes a running facility, then hand it over after a period of time. You get it. That kind of arrangement, we should never as a country get into it. And the kind of laws we have at the moment, the flash memory that I have about those laws is that they never envisaged this kind of arrangement. So you may find that we have very small space of really arm twisting this person to get back that money. But I believe we have a window, however small it is, to recover that money. Which window we need to get down with our land brothers.
So now
we have a window. The first window in the agreement, we agreed with her that she will construct within 2 years. She has failed to do that. Why can't we terminate the contract? In the second window is that we gave her a project because we knew for her she was bringing her expertise in the medical side. Rocco was bringing the expertise in the construction side. We know she has breached the contract between the government, Parliament, which appropriated her money, because for us we gave her money on the promise that she's going to work with Rocco.
So now,
As we talk today, Rocco is no longer working with her.
no, okay.
Meaning that is the second way of breaching the contract. So why can't we terminate it?
Are you almost getting to a conclusion that perhaps the person you see who's fronted as managing the hospital and perhaps the person who's sending for the money is actually may not be the real person?
Actually, we do not know. Personally, I've been there twice, and on the occasion we went there as the finance committee, we communicated that we need to meet this person face to face. We were only given the name, and I remember the name Pinetti, maybe some other names just quoted it, I don't know, but at least I remember Pinetti. But we could not tell whether she's a woman or a man. We could not even tell anything beyond that about her. So a lot about that person is actually hidden. You're given an impression that this contract was supposed to be done by Rocco, but almost immediately Rocco was given the contract. They went to court over what we don't know. Rocco pulled out, another company came in, then a Chinese company came in. You know, there is a story you get that I think aims to confuse you along the way, such that you understand very little about what is happening. Even the people we met there, these people, I remember they were whites, but I don't know from which country. They would give you information according to what would impress you, something like that. You know, what we came to discover that Lubowa will have at least maybe 6 intensive care units, and maybe were they 4 or 5 theaters? Then the rest was what? You know, it was very difficult really to appreciate Lubowa very well.
But even 5 theaters and 6 intensive care units on that money would be something very small.
Of course.
The people who were talking to us, you know, they would not bring everything out clearly. And for some other pressing questions, they would say that now that we shall have to inquire and get back to you. So even those 2 successful visits that we made were not fruitful, were not resourceful. There's nothing really got out of it.
Honorable Msinguzi, really, when you look at the Lubowa case, somehow it tells you the story of Uganda and the story of governance. It appears that Professor Gilbert Bukenya at one point said that there are so many mafias in government. Isn't this the case of mafia?
And one day...
Isn't this the case of mafia?
One day the late Mahakanizi, we put him to task to tell us who is Lubowa, which percentage of shareholding in that PPP is government. He assured us government is 100% the owner of Lubowa. We asked him, did you follow the procurement procedures? He said, that one I will tell you. Now, why give money to a foreign investor who has come with nothing, only the bag and the phone? When we know that the money that we gave to the Ministry of Health for the specialized hospital of women specialized hospital in Mulago, only costed, is it $25 million US, and they gave us 450 beds at 25 million. This 376 million of Lubowa was envisaged to give us only 250 beds. The multiplication factor is 5 more times.
Yeah, because they said this was super specialized and
you know,
like no other in
those are the good words. Those are the good words. I can see my brother there in Lubowa. Those are the good words they always use to convince us. But again, why wouldn't we give this money to them to Marago to do for us what they did? They can multiply this. We can do it ourselves. Why don't Ugandans believe in themselves? Today, I had to change my company. I had a construction company. I called it Musingu's Construction Company. I bidded 50 times, I didn't get any job. I changed the company 7 years from today. I called it Ding's Young East Africa Enterprise. I would bid and they called me. Oh, Chinese, where are you? Come and get a job. I told you, I got jobs and I was overwhelmed. So Ugandans, this is the time we need to believe in ourselves. And this is real.
What a testimony.
This is real. We don't believe in ourselves. If I went to China and I pick a Chinese to come here speaking of how he has worked on a bridge in China, in America, in where you will find all engineers in the ministry, and you know they will all be clapping, and you know who says, I have experience, I can do this, we have studied Chambogo engineering, we can do this. They will say, are you Ugandan, you cannot manage. This one will do it. This is why we have this scam.
Yeah, I know, because even in the private sector, some people, when you're bidding for a job, you go on the streets of Kampala, pick some tourist who's putting on a short and with a rucksack and put him in a suit and let him be part of your group. You go and sit on the board and say he's one of us, and you're bidding, and before you know it, if you're in a competition, you have come in with the other guy, chances are that you're going to take the job because the perception that you're going to probably is going to add value, which is always never the case, by the way, because human nature is just the same.
And
the difference is just the color of our skin tone.
Exactly. Ugandans
so
are losing jobs.
On black or white, individuals have different capacities and are gifted differently. But now, you as members of parliament now, where do we go from here? Dr. Timothy Batua.
Yeah, first and foremost, it's complicated. When you say that you're terminating the contract with Lubowa, you're simply giving her money to take. You get it. When you say that you're coming out to arrest whoever is Pinetti, you're likely to find nobody. For sure, Pinetti is invisible.
The hospital is a phantom. Pinetti is invisible.
You know, even the people we met on the first occasion as the Committee of Finance are not the people we met when we went back as the Committee of Health. Even when we went here and I peeped through that small opening on the gate, I didn't see any of the other people we had earlier met. So there isn't anybody you will hold on to that I'm now holding Pinetti. And if I take this person to Kira police station or a nearby police station that side, you know, Lubowa maybe police station or something, that I'm taking Pinetti there. So it is becoming, it is actually complicated. And now that all the money went to Pinetti, what we are doing is to repay the loan. Of course, the government can't default on loan repayment. We have to pay that money until the loan is cleared.
And that $309 million in Ugandan money is over 1 trillion shillings.
Not on a trillion.
Now, when it comes to over 1 trillion, there was another amount of money that was supposed to actually equip and operationalize that facility. So when you put all that together, that's when it shoots to 1.4 trillion. But the promissory notes that have matured so far
are worth 600 billion.
Are worth 600 billion. And more are maturing. So whatever, you know, the balance of those that are about to mature, we do not know. We need the schedule of that. We need a schedule of that to start, government review. Ministry of Finance reviews that on that date we've so far paid so much, and we are yet to pay this much.
So, Honorable Musinguzi, the taxpayers' money has gone to the West. As Parliament, you have appropriated funds, or maybe government has guaranteed, an investor by giving promissory notes or guarantee to the bank, and the money is going away. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a clear example of how Uganda's institutions do not work, how Parliament is not working. You can be in your chambers, you can be on the floor, you can express yourselves, but at the end of the day, that does not help, does not stop the hemorrhage of public resources. Really, our institutions are not helping us, are they?
To me, the role, I want to differ from Doctor. With my little knowledge of law I know, I think the culprits can be brought to book. If the Auditor General has queried, what was the role of Pinetti here? Who was the contract manager that was certifying the contracts? If you tell me that there was no one certifying the work done by that consortium of Pineti and Rocco. If this commissioner in the Ministry of Health says he didn't certify anything and he was the one supervising, he should be brought to book. Pineti should be brought to book. This money should be recovered.
Okay, the commissioner did nothing because there was nothing on the site.
Exactly. Exactly. So who is this man in the Ministry of Finance that went ahead to approve those promissory notes? Because we had agreed that in this contract, the promissory note will be issued to this company when there is satisfactory work done at that level. If you have finished the ground beam, they give you this. If you have finished the brickwork, they give you this much. If you have reached the ring beam, they give you this much. Who is this person in the Ministry of Finance
was releasing money?
That was releasing this money as if it was a bonanza. Tomorrow you approve 200 billion. The other day you approve, lying us that the promissory note, we are not giving money, we are giving liquid cash. A promissory note is money. No one should confuse you.
Yeah, I think what I came to discover for the small things that we've read about Lubowa is that this person approached two banks. These two banks gave whoever is behind Lubowa money. So what government is actually now dealing with, government is now dealing with the bank.
Because they guaranteed him.
Yeah, they guaranteed. Yes. So now they are paying the bank. They are paying the bank as and when these promissory
notes mature.
Now,
which would have been okay if the hospital was progressing.
But now,
if they were paying for work done.
But yeah, the agreement was poorly written. It was a very wrong arrangement. You can't, because it was about building, operating, and transfer. You get it, eh? So whoever really convinced government to get into this kind of arrangement without doing enough due diligence, because we do not even have addresses of Pineti. We do, you know, I've never been in any parliamentary conversation to ascertain Pineti as a company.
So as Parliament,
the farthest we've seen or we've had is actually the only company that you see in that arrangement is Rocco. There was something
but there's a time.
But Rocco went to court and
there's a time where the house where you sit approves this money.
Yeah, but you know, this is
government cannot ask for, you cannot commit themselves to such colossal sums of money without seeking approval of Parliament.
Yeah, but how does that business come to Parliament? It starts in Cabinet. Cabinet looks at it, it weighs it, you know, technical people do all the nitty-gritty. By the time it comes to Parliament, it's not time to really do the assessment technically. You look at it politically. You know, do we as a country need this? So they will tell you we've been bleeding about $7 to $9 to $10 million every year, taking people outside. So this money is going to save that situation and all that. So it will be a political talk and a political debate. A decision will be taken by way of voting. So in that case, the decision was taken. However, what we see now is that people are continuing to go outside for treatment, number one. Number two, the hospital is not there. But what we have is the loss that money was given. This person got a bank loan. So the arrangement of that nature is actually the mistake we made. And we should never again as a country get into that kind of arrangement, financial arrangement, going for it. But by the way, I've also seen UNRWA using that very path, this pre-financing for roads. There is a road we passed in Parliament recently. It is also more or less similar arrangement as that one, the road from Mutukula to Masaka. Somebody is going to construct that road using his own money, and we shall only pay that person, I think, after 2 years or something. So that arrangement is similar to this. And the other projects, I think, the Jinja Kampala Express Highway, which is also going to follow the same arrangement, yeah, of pre-financing.
Okay. Somebody comes in with this money and construct. So we need to actually examine whoever played a role in this thing of giving Pineti that pre-financing arrangement, and we see where we went wrong. What could we have done that we didn't do? You get it.
Did we do some risk assessment? What kind of risks did we look at the time, and what mitigation plan we had in all these deals? You know, if we were betrayed, I think it was technical people who betrayed us, and we would like to know how easy it is to recover.
Whom do you think should really carry the blame on this, the Honorable Musenguzi?
Thank you. When I was studying Latin, for many years, by the way, there is what we call the Trojan Horse. You studied literature, you must be knowing what a Trojan Horse means. And in Latin we called it the Trojani let sunti. The Greeks were very brave. They were at war with the Trojans. There was a city called Troy, and the people living in Troy were Trojans. So the Greek deceived the other Trojans that we are bringing you a wooden horse as a gift. The Trojans were all happy about the horse. A horse means a lot in those Arab countries. So when the Greeks were going, they put all their armor in the wooden horse. They put their soldiers, their guns, everything in that wooden horse. Because there is no way they would access the city of Troy. So the Greeks went, drove their gift to these people. Immediately when they broke the border boundaries and entered the city, the guns came out, the soldiers came out, and they shoot the Greeks, killed all the Trojans.
And that's why we have the phrase, the Trojan horse.
So today, we have Trojan horses in Uganda, and not on the Lubowa. People can sugarcoat themselves. We think they have brought God from heaven, when they have brought for us byoya byanswa. That's what the Baganda you say. Now, whoever sugarcoated this project, he sugarcoated the Trojan horse. And here we are. Even if we give them 20 years, we shall never get Lubowa done. What is that they are hiding? Beating who? Not allowing whoever, guarding the construction, not allowing people to do due diligence. I think the Auditor General, I don't know how he entered access to that place to do due diligence.
But it appears now the majority of the people of Uganda and Kampala and the elite have understood that here we are taken for a ride. So the voice of the people is like, you know, you have cheated us. And if you are to use it again, you're Latin or whatever, the voice of the people.
Vox populi, vox dei.
Yes.
The voice of the people is the voice of God. And God is watching.
So
God is watching. And again in my local language, what is that they are hiding? We say, that when you hide food stuff, when you hide many things,
the rats will
eat them. And Lubowa has been eaten by rats. That's the end of the story.
Maybe we should get the land before the Lubowa person sells it, because the person who took the loan may also sell the land.
So, and by the time, you know what pains to people like us is to failure to really find somebody to take this blame, or failure for the institutions of government to work. Like, if the Auditor General has come out with a certain query, that query should be followed, and then the institution should work, and then whoever's responsible should be brought to book, or maybe brought to explain.
But how should it be followed when they are blocking the people who should follow from accessing the premises?
That's what I'm saying. That's a breakdown.
The owners are peeping through the doors. Have you seen them, the members of Parliament, peeping through the doors? See what is happening
that
inside?
That shows total breakdown of institutions in Uganda.
Yeah, true. What is happening is fraud, definitely. There's no doubt about that. But the way I see participants in this, if you're to follow them up, maybe you can get them on grounds of negligence. You get it, that maybe somebody should have seen this or should have seen that, but neglected this or neglected that. Of course, which is a weaker ground as compared to when you can really get somebody and put in prison, that maybe this is the person who got the money, who ate the money. But overall, the Lubowa case is just going to open our eyes. But I believe that the usual Parliament I know would not really accept things to do with Lubowa. It must have been, I don't want to use the word connivance, but I can't avoid it because really it's very difficult to make a business idea that looks like Lubowa to be appreciated by almost everybody in government, later on bring it to Parliament, and they pass it. It's very, very difficult for such a business idea to go through. So many people must have participated, maybe in good faith, or they were forced, coerced, connived, whatever the case is. There was something that convinced those people, because it was abnormal. That kind of arrangement doesn't exist. We normally don't work like that.
Honorable Batura and Honorable Musinguzi, gentlemen, hold on to your points. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll open the line so that you too, who is watching at home or wherever you are, you can be a part of this discussion. I want you to have your say on the issue of this so-called super specialized hospital in Lubowa. We'll be right back. You're watching On the Spot. My name is Patrick Amar, and my guests tonight are Honorable Dr. Timothy Batura, Member of Parliament representing Jinja City West, and also Shadow Minister of Health, and Honorable Yona Musinguzi, Member of Parliament representing Ntungamo Municipality. And we're discussing the super specialized hospital of Lubowa that has failed to get out of the ground. And we're asking questions why. These are members of Parliament. Their job is to appropriate funds. Their job is also to do oversight and legislate. They too have questions to answer because of the special role they play. This is the moment when you have to have your say. The numbers on the screen, you can pick your phone and call us and tell us what you think is going on. In my view, the institutions of government of Uganda are wobbly. They are not working that they should. Because if they were, somebody should have been brought to book to answer some of these questions. I have a call online. Hello. I have a call online. Hello. Okay, it looks like you have put your TV set up, so you cannot have a conversation with us because you are listening to yourself. In case your phone goes through, please turn down the volume of your TV so that it doesn't bring an echo like it is bringing an echo right now. All right. We will be picking your calls. We want to hear. I've just received a message from somebody I can call anonymous because I don't think he wants me to say his name. Yes, I have a call online.
I'm Johnny calling from Nabingo.
Nabingo, go right ahead, sir.
So for me, my case about Rova is like, it's just like the other assets of government has been doing. Now you find assets like the Entebbe Express where people are charging more money than we ought to pay. You can't pay for public service that much, and we are getting less from the taxes we pay. That's Uganda, and it will not change in any time soon, unless otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our caller there calling in from Nabingo, and it appears this is an issue that really has rubbed Ugandans the wrong way. There's an element of anger in this because we're talking about colossal sums of money, taxpayers' money, going without a trace. And yet we expected that hospital to rise from the ground by now. It should have been even completed. If you look at, for example, the Aga Khan Hospital that is being built in Nakawa, I think it was started in 2020. 2 years, right now, it is at a certain level, you can see, that is some progress. This that was started much earlier is still in the ground. With some members of Parliament joking that maybe the builders are going underground. That's why it's super specialized. But seriously, it is unthinkable. It is that no one is paying for this.
Yeah, that is the.
And if no one is paying for this,
that is the most
then we, the Ugandans, should think about how do we give the mandate to our leaders.
And nobody has been dressed to look like he is or she is the person to actually pay for this. So whoever is to bear blame is not very visible and is not known, remains anonymous.
But why do we say that? When these people, I don't think she just got a contract and she signed robotically. She must have sat down with people and she held the pen, she appends her signature, and another person, he also appends her signature. So I may ask, whom did she ask to sign with?
I have a call online. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm called Reverend Ruabhete.
Reverend Ruabhete, you're on air. Go right ahead, sir.
For me, I don't see where is the argument. These people.
Reverend, turn down the volume of your TV. Turn it down so that you'll speak. Now you're listening to yourself. It's not a good thing. Turn down the volume right now, and then you tell us what you want to say.
Yes, for me, my argument is the whole process passed through. The whole process was followed from point A to point Z. Then what are they arguing about? That is my
so Reverend Rabihete, you think there's no problem in this issue because the hospital is not getting out of the ground, and money has been sunk into it, lots of money.
No, but no. But the problem we should go back. Those people, they followed the process. That's the bottom line.
Robert Haiti. Yeah, I mean, but he has a point.
Is a clear point. He's like, the process from the initial stage was not followed. So what are you talking about? If you didn't follow the initial stage of the process, meaning the end result is not there.
I perceived him to be saying that we should follow backwards. If you can't get penalty, you get the person who brought penalty. Or you get the people who put up the process. You get it. Because the way it is, the situation presents nobody who is obviously available to be prosecuted in this matter. I believe, because I see the name Pinetti coming out, but Pinetti is not really very available. Pinetti is not somebody you can easily see. We do not even know whether Pinetti is in Uganda or not. We are speaking this name and using it far and wide. You get it. But to what extent is it real? To what extent does it have a human person behind it? You get it. So, for me, this is what confuses us most.
I just got in a message from somebody who's high up there in the echelons of state power, and they says, "Hello, brother. The Lubowa story is a disgrace. The developer even reduced the scope to a smaller structure."
And increased the money.
Can you imagine?
I may add for him.
Can you imagine? Somebody who understands what's going on. It's a disgrace.
That's what I told you. The scope was reduced and the value of the money was increased.
It's unfortunate. It's extremely...
All right. The number is still on the screen. I'm going to take one more and then we conclude it. I have another call online. Hello. Hello? Yes.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Bukoya Shaban. I'm calling from Masakai.
Go ahead, Shaban.
Yeah, I'm just worried, considering the way our leaders are arguing. You wonder how the leaders start complaining, especially parliamentarians who actually sit on the table where the national cake is distributed. They know the procurement processes, but they cannot trace the person who was procured to do the project. They are complaining more than us, the led. You would expect them to know how the process was started, how Pinetti and whoever it is was procured. They know who actually is protecting Pinetti. They just don't want to mention the name. They just don't want to go to that particular office where the contractor is hidden. Because you would wonder how just a single contractor stopped members of parliament from accessing the premises. It means someone somewhere who is so powerful is protecting this person. But leaders who even have the instruments of power to dig deep and get this person out are also complaining like us who have no power at all. So you wonder where this country is headed.
Thank you, Shaban. Thank you very much, Shaban. Well, I presented the same issue to these members of parliament, telling them that they have a special duty here because they have a role. And I hear your pain because this is the third arm of government and we expect better and more from them. they shouldn't be agonizing with us. You cannot be agonizing with us.
No, what you see,
we demand better.
What you see is exactly what it is. What you see is that Parliament, and specifically the office of the leader of opposition, went to ascertain even some facts about Lubowa, going to the site to find out how much work has been done. We were denied access, not by Pinetti's lawyer, not by the Askaris, not by friends.
Let me also take another call online, and then maybe the very last gentleman. I have a call online. Hello.
Yes, hello.
You are listening. Your TV volume high, so it is bringing an echo. Can I request you to turn down the volume so that it doesn't send an echo?
Yeah, okay. Yes, how are you? This is James.
Go right ahead, sir.
Now, me what I'm saying, yeah, this is James from Katoke. I think all the opposition has failed. They have failed.
Yourself, because your TV, the volume is high. May I request you to turn down so that doesn't confuse you? Looks like my producer has cut the line, and that's very unfortunate, because I thought you had a point to make. Okay, gentlemen, let me ask you to make your concluding remarks, and I'm going to begin with you, the Honorable Musinguzi Yona.
Thank you for bringing out this topic tonight, because the taxpayer out there, he has a duty to know where his taxes are going, as we mobilize people to pay taxes. And as readers, we also have duty to hold government accountable of the taxpayers' money. And mind you, the voters, corruption is a vampire that has sucked the blood of any nation. And when one or two comes out, it is out of pain. I would want to praise you, Honorable. I know you have called thousands of MPs to come here. You've called thousands of technocrats to come here, but they can't make it.
That's very true. There may not be thousands, but we have tried to look for even people who have the responsibility to have accountability issues on this, and they are reluctant to
So to
appear.
have the courage to hold a corrupt officer accountable, it is not an easy task. However, when we bring out these issues, you, the public, me, the legislator, you sent to Parliament, and government, we all have a role to play. We all have a role to play, because this taxpayers' money pains when we are in Ntungamo. And I've told you, our theater, which was built 4 years back, has no equipment, and you go to the Ministry of Health, they cry with you like we are crying with the public. But the public, you are a public court, and we shall not relent on informing you. And I want to thank everyone who comes here to fight greed, corruption, nepotism has eaten the apparatus of this nation. And me and you have a responsibility to make sure our government works.
Thank you so much, Honorable Yona Musinguzi. Honorable Dr. Batua, your parting shot.
Yeah, most importantly, it's important for the viewers to appreciate that Lubowa is a unique case, and there are many scenarios or similar cases that should have happened, but as Parliament, we've tried to resist. We've tried to resist the same scenario happening in Kofi. I remember even when an attempt was made to get only the NRM members of Parliament, their caucus in Kololo refused. So parliamentarians have gone on to resist anything that looks like Lubowa, either by name or by formation. You come up with an arrangement that this one can do this, can construct this, or can put up this. provided you can pay that person later. We've resisted all such arrangement. But that doesn't deter us from discussing exactly what happened in Lubowa and how it went wrong. As it is now, Lubowa is a very disappointing story, because for us to go to the site to ascertain facts as Parliament, and specifically Office of the Leader of Opposition, and using our mandate, which is even constitutional, but when we get there, you find police, Ugandan police, obstructing you from achieving that. So it's a very unique case. There are very few scenarios where you find police obstructing somebody from exercising a lawful duty. I do not think there are many scenarios where you've seen police obstructing magistrates or judges from doing their lawful duty, or obstructing any other person. But again, to come to Parliament, you know, an arm of government, you know, the way and the extent to which it is big, it prompts you to think far and wide. You want to interrogate those particular police officers. Under whose order were they acting? Who were they conspiring with to obstruct Parliament from doing its work? And you want to go further and inquire from that person, you know, of what benefit, or what is he trying to protect in the image of Pineti or Lubowa? You get it. So, I mean, this is a scenario that hasn't happened in Uganda, or that you may not see many times. It's a unique one, and as such, Parliament should not be described as one that has failed, but to also appreciate that there are things that happen, and the way they've been formed is either complex or is unique, that you have no prior knowledge and you're in there and you're bound to lose, and actually you've lost. You get it. So with the Lubowa, what I see is that in the near future, the technical people who really brought this to the table for discussion, and whoever had a role to play in terms of assessing the risk and all that, those people will be answerable. There will definitely there will be people answerable to whatever has happened, but I have pain that the real principal, who I've been told is Pineti, and I've not seen, I've actually never even imagined that real principal is actually invisible at the moment, not seen, no address. You know, whoever wants to see Pineti, even, you know, if I'm to follow up on somebody, I don't have to go to a construction site. But anything to do with the Lubowa, you have to go at the site. There isn't any office.
Thank you, Dr. Timothy Batura, Shadow Minister of Health, Member of Parliament representing Jinja City West. Thank you so much. Honorable Yona Musinguzi, Member of Parliament representing Ntungama Municipality. Thank you. But most importantly, you, the viewer, want to thank you for the privilege of your company. Many have called it a disappointing project. Another person called it a disgrace. It's like a phantom or a ghost project that I think, in my view, is a scar on the conscience of the nation. Good night and God bless Uganda.